Yes, I'm just leveling. Also, Odin has really extremely well-defined cheekbones. I mean, if he were not busy being a spooky homicidal horse rider, he could probably be a male supermodel. That sounds really fantastic. A 12-year-old in 2001 writing a fanfic on top of it. I really wonder why Tomberry is so highly leveled, so high leveled in contrast to the other GFs. I mean, Odin has a very healthy yellow skin tone. Are you saying that's not nice looking? You don't like that? Dynamic battle theme switcher. Like, can you talk a little bit about that? And the song choices? I mean, look at those cheekbones. I don't actually remember what level Tomberry was when I got him. Maybe he was level 50. It's ill-fitting. What even are these buttons? I mean, these moves are like Dragon Ball Z level ridiculousness. That's something peculiar to bring up. I mean, when was the last time you even heard from Rebecca Black? I mean, the way I see it, Hexadragon is some kind of alien dragon. I mean, it has... I don't know how many eyes, but more than 2. It looks like it's supposed to be inspired by the Predator alien. Doesn't Steel Curtain teach Auto Protect? And doesn't Moon Curtain teach Auto Shell? I mean, I have a hard time even identifying these buttons on my Xbox controller. Oh hey, XP. Well, I'm glad you could help me clear it up, Sidon. So this JF has reached level 100 yet. Interesting. Oh, it can actually learn Ribbon at level 80. That's nice, because it means it can learn it right now. I am just trying to level up everything to 100, all characters, all GFs, because I think that's very fun to do, isn't it? I mean, I'm not sure if you realize, but in FF8 enemies scale with you, so I'm not actually making anything easier for me. I mean, one of the things I still haven't done is kill Omega Weapon, and Omega Weapon is based on your level, so if I get to level 100, Omega Weapon will also be level 100, which makes it arguably the hardest version of the fight. I mean, I don't really grind for max stats. Also, have you never enjoyed the serene peacefulness that is grinding everything to 100 in FF8? It gives you a certain sense of peace of mind. Are you sure? Because I have speedrun FF8 on the Steam version, and normally when you fight Omega Weapon, which you do in 100%, he dies very quickly, which means he cannot have 1 million HP, which means he cannot be at level 100. seems like not every GF learns a late level ability though. Carbuncle learned Luck Junction, level 80 I believe. Oh, I see what you mean now. But still, I feel like I don't even know if I've ever, like, in all my playthroughs of this game, if I have ever brought everything to 100. I don't actually know that. So I might just as well do that for the first time. You know, earlier XP, someone talked about a French meal. I wonder if you can help bring any perspective to that. Well, what they called French meal, which they said consisted of wine, bread and cheese. Is there such a thing? I mean, to me it sounds like a cheese sandwich with a glass of wine. Yeah, it also doesn't sound like an actual meal. It sounds more like a small meal at most. I find it interesting how to you 2 or 3 is a shit ton. I don't think we have the same kind of quantity scale. I mean, to me a shit ton of cheese melts would be like 14. I mean, 2 is not even many, 2 is like few. I have no idea how much calories are in a cheese melt. I have possibly never eaten one. I've only seen them on TV. I think I have never even seen them in person. Well, isn't it safer to stay away from these dangerous things? I mean, I'm not really that much into cheese, so I guess that could explain it. I mean, cheese, and in particular melting or melted cheese, doesn't really do anything for me. Yes, they nerf Lionhearts. I don't know about the 100% critical rates, but that could be the case. What they most certainly did is lower the strength. I don't think Chugga World is cheating. It's just a shortcut. Do you know who else uses shortcuts? The ambulance. I guess you have a point. The ambulance does indeed try to cheat death. But maybe cheating isn't such a bad thing then, after all. I mean, now that you bring that up, I kind of wonder where the word cheating even comes from linguistically. I mean, in relationships, cheating is a very interesting slash entertaining topic, I guess. In video games, it's not quite the same, I guess. So you're saying that cheating is too much work? That's actually not even that bad of an opinion, or that inaccurate. Like, cheating is probably quite time-consuming, and who has got time for that anyway? In the original game, the only way to get the ribbon is through Chocobo Worlds. No GF learns that by default, and the only item to teach it is by using the ribbon, which you can only get from Chocobo Worlds. And because most people never played Chocobo Worlds, they never even got that ability. I mean, the topic of cheating leads to many deep philosophical conundra, such as, is it cheating if every party involved is engaging in it covertly, though? I mean, I guess it doesn't really change anything, but comedy-wise, it makes for some interesting scenarios. You know what would be funny? If two people cheated on each other with the same third person, somebody should make a TV show about that. I mean, I'm sure it happened before, but it sounds like a great plot for a TV show. So which is my lowest level GF? It's Doom Train. Hey Walter Pickles, how are you? You got your 8 hours of sleep. Good for you. Because I have a hard time figuring out which buttons I have to press. Like, I mean, my Xbox controller doesn't have buttons that read button 1, button 2, button 3. They have A, B, X, Y, and so on, so I need to actually figure out which buttons they correspond to. I don't use Zell often enough to know that by heart. I mean, haven't we already established previously that I'm cheating? There is a couple of things. I can link you a link, so you can click on that link and follow that link to learn about that. Basically, it's a gameplay rebalance / hardcore mods. It makes the game harder by increasing enemy stats, improving on the AI, among other things. Nerfing some of your stuff. I mean, Zell is quite difficult. Like, can you, like... Also, you don't always get the same command, so you have to first get an idea of what you want to do. And then you have to, like, decide on, like, the commands, and then you have to, like, figure out which buttons to press. It's not that simple. I mean, it's like you're having a look at the menu and you want to choose what you want to have, so you have to consider and reconsider. I mean, the best sequence for the vanilla game for an unmodded version is, but in this mod, Meteor Strike has been nerfed. It doesn't any longer deal percentage damage, so Meteor Strike is much weaker. Which means you might not even want to use Meteor Strike all the time. So how are my stats looking right now? You know, we haven't seen Odin in a little while. How could my cheekbone comments have been offensive? I mean, for instance, look at different beats. I want to use different beats, so I have to figure out which buttons correspond to B1, B3, B2, B4, and up. That's not that simple. It's and I mean, I have to figure it out, and then I have to also like internalize that. I have to figure out how to actually press that in like 1 second and 8 milliseconds. Which didn't even work. Yeah, I guess if I use Zell more often that wouldn't be such an issue, but I don't even like to use Zell. I don't actually like to input stuff, it's too much work, like I don't like that part of the game. It's kind of too hands-on. I guess I hate him for very many different reasons. Even though I wouldn't say I hate him, I do not particularly take delight in his appearance and general presence. Hexadragons actually give you the most XP from all the enemies here. I mean, they might take longer, but they also give you more XP actually by quite a bit. And they don't really take that much longer. Like, take this battle for example. Yeah, it still takes 1000 XP to level up one level. Only Squall has Death Junction to his status attack. The other ones have Sleep, so that explains why Squall one-hit KOs them. The others do not. You know, there are a couple of enemies I encounter here, and some of them cannot be one-hit KO'd with Death. They can, however, be put to sleep. Which is why I also have Sleep on status attack. The other guys are just kind of too weak, really. I mean, what I could be doing is actually, that's a good point. I could be switching around the Death and Sleep junctions, of course. I mean, it's true, the enemy, the character who kills the enemy gets the most XP, that's true, so I should have done that a long time ago, I didn't just consider that. Interesting. Zell seems to have much more HP than Irvine naturally. I'm gonna reach level 100 sometime soon, yeah. I mean, in FF8, leveling actually is quite fast. What do you mean by just a puzzle? I mean, do you mean getting to Omega Weapon? I mean, that is still a puzzle, but what exactly do you mean by he's just a puzzle? That's what you mean, I understand now. You mean his fixed attack pattern. From what I've read in the changelog thread about the mods, his attack pattern has been changed to make him less predictable. You know, it's funny how Odin appears on encounters that I wouldn't necessarily need him on. I actually haven't encountered any ruby dragons or Malboros in a while. Oh look, a ruby dragon. So now somebody learned Ribbon, which means that I don't need any status of defense junctions anymore, because the Ribbon protects against everything, which is quite... I mean, that's quite game-breaking if you fight Malboros with this. I could also try and win some of the cards I used up back. I only used 2 cards, really. I thought I had used up more cards than that. Oh, then again, all my cards were fined into garbage, so I guess that's why I didn't even use these other cards up. Because I only would have gotten garbage. And here's the Marlboro. I mean, that's what a lot of people probably did. It's not really that hard to come by some Ultima spells though. You don't even need to fight Malboros for those. How many Fury fragments do I have, by the way? I could make some more aura spells with those. When I fought Ultimate Weapon, I probably should have drawn 300 aura spells, because there's no really good way in the game to make aura spells. There's only or in this mod rather, there's only very few draw points. I think I can't really use those anymore. I've already had all of those. And besides that, you can't really draw it from enemies. Yes, Rinoa has still at level 30 or so, so don't worry. We'll still be here for a few more hours. The fun is not going to end anytime soon. Hey Alfshots, quite well. How are you? I could give you a link if that's what you want, or I could just summarize the changes for you, if that's what you prefer. I mean, this is a gameplay rebalance / hardcore mods. Some of the things in this mod: enemy stats are higher, enemy have better AI. Some of your limit breaks have been nerfed, they have been made weaker. Some of your magic has been made stronger. GFs are actually worth casting. It's actually a kind of comprehensive overhaul. You're just slacking at work. So you've joined the workforce of people who have a work at which they can watch Twitch. Yeah, it's the same game. I mean, I would say it's not just a rebalance. It also is, to some extent, like a hardcore challenge. Like on the difficulty scale, it's like 6 or 7 out of 10, I would say. Whereas FF8 unmodded is like a 1 or 2. I mean, actually in this mod, it is easier to heal your GFs in battle, which normally you can still do, but the only way to do so is to use an ability called Mini-Mock, which you probably have never seen because it's very obscure. Maybe it's time for the daily Mini-Mock awareness. I mean, I guess I should maybe show you Minimock, because it has been like 2 days since I've last used it. That's way too long. Who even has Minimock though? Oh, here we go now. So, I know you probably cannot get prepared for this, because it's really quite shocking, but try to mentally prepare for this now. Because this is a Chocobo World exclusive ability. That's why you've probably never seen it. In this mod though, you can actually use it without Chocobo Worlds. Some GFs in this mod learn it naturally. Normally you have to get an item from Chocobo Worlds to teach a GF the ability. Also, what that attack does, it heals your GFs, which in this mod actually is kind of useful. But normally, it's not really useful because you wouldn't even really use a GF more than once in a battle, so if a GF loses HP or even dies in a battle, that's perfectly meaningless in unmodded games. But in this mod it's kind of useful because you can use your GFs as a shield, or just you want to use them all the time. I mean, the weather here is just clear sunshine. It actually like almost hurts my eyes looking out of the window. It's too bright. I don't like it. It's too sunny for my not very sun-resistant eyes. Like, wasn't that already confirmed a long time ago? Was there ever any question? I see. I mean, the only thing I don't like about being a vampire is that I don't like the taste of blood. Blood is too salty. There should be a sweet version of blood that might be better. I mean, sometimes when you brush your teeth, you can like taste your own blood if you do it really aggressively. And I find that the taste of blood is not quite that of candy. Oh, I could actually exchange. I could switch out Irvine for Rinoa, who also still needs to reach level 100. The issue about Rinoa is that her attack animation is very slow. She has these weird shooty weapons. I don't even know what kind of weapon they are, like... Is there a name for... Like, she has some kind of projectile weapons, but... I mean, all the other weapons are kind of used in the real world. I don't think you can say the same about Rinoa's. I don't know if you would call them pinwheels. They are just strange projectiles. I mean, swords and guns are probably the most common weapons. I mean, you can see nunchakus, Selphie's weapons, somewhere. And fighting gloves also work. Whips also make sense, but Rinoa's weapons are just, I don't know. They seem very, non-weapon-like. I only do that on National Quinoa Day. Would you mind elucidating what they would have to say about Rinoa's weapons? Because I can't quite see what you're hinting at. Oh, you mean her dog? I see what you mean now, but... That's not really her weapon, that's her limit break. And, I mean... I mean, now that you mention that, I can see what you mean, but... It's kind of hilarious to picture it, though. Also, Zell is done now as well, so I can actually get back to, like, somewhat good characters. You have a date tonight. How do you it seems like you just figured out, or you just found out about that very recently. Did you like win a raffle or something to find out you had a date? I think I should have an ample supply of energy crystals by now. Kind of. Does your date involve foods? I wonder. So a few other GFs have reached level 100 as well. Interesting. Which means I could unequip them. I learned the weapon skill quite a while ago, and I've actually used it against the. I've profited from it in a recent Marlboro fight when Squall didn't get any status effects. Probably something like right now as well. I should stop using her when Noah's limit breaks. She does stuff I don't like her to do. Such as healing my characters. I don't like that. Because now I cannot use limit breaks easily anymore. I mean, if you equip a weapon, the Malbow is actually one of the weakest enemies here. They are extremely safe to fight. I mean, all they have going for them is that they have a lot of HP. But that just makes the fight longer. It doesn't really make it riskier or more dangerous. Another Marlboro. Well, I could try that. If Quistis didn't suffer from all kinds of things. I mean, I believe actually all of the limit breaks break the damage limits. Every single one of them that can deal damage. Will they remaster the FF8? I don't know. But I don't really think so. I'm afraid that might not happen. At least not anytime soon. By fall off, do you mean she became useless? Or what exactly? Ah yes, they remastered FF7, but FF8 is not FF7, so I wouldn't get my hopes too high. I mean, her limit break is kind of hit and miss. I mean, Selphie has a few things that are unique about her. She has actually one of the 2 weapons in the game that have maximum hit rate, so that's quite useful. Her limit break, though, is kind of very random, so it depends on if you want to risk that or if you can accept that. Personally, I still quite like it because it's always quite such a rush to see what shitty spells you can get. It's quite fun. I mean, I don't really do gambling, but it gives me a sense of adventurousness. The generator still works on a few of them, but not all of them, as it did in the original game. I mean, I disappear not for months, but more like for years. But yeah, last time I didn't stream, I was quite busy, and I didn't really feel like streaming due to that. Actually still hasn't learned her last Angelo limit break wishing star. Actually, let's try and see what the damage from this is now. I hope you like endlessly long attack animations. Boosting was disabled in this mod, you can no longer do that. Well, that's a flat 60k damage then. How can she miss whipping herself? That seems strange to me. Is it so hard to whip yourself? Apparently it is. I mean, not that I've tried, but I would assume it shouldn't be that difficult. Hey, Madrid. Thank you. Why do you need to kill her all the time? Hey Kaito kids. I'm good, how are you? Some soup? What kind of soup? Asparagus. I didn't even know there was such a thing as asparagus soup. I mean, I'm sure you can make soup out of everything. Yeah, I'm afraid it's actually asparagus time again. I don't like asparagus. People get all kinds of crazy over here. Over asparagus. You know, actually Eden dealt 60k damage not too long ago. Well, then I'm gonna leave it a mystery for you. Just so you don't become unsurprised. Hey, Medric. My streams are at all kinds of spooky times, not necessarily at night. Yeah, plus it's always night somewhere. I mean, when I started it was kind of night. It was like matutinal night. But, I mean, are you saying I should stream at nights, or are you saying I should not stream at nights? I can't quite see how to interpret that question of yours. I mean, it's true that it's always night somewhere, but some of these places are in the ocean. So what have you been doing, Medric, since we last had a longer conversation? Have you been having any French meals, which I learned today consist of wine, cheese and bread? A lot of gâteau? What kind of gâteau? I mean, if you replace the wine with beer, then it's no longer a French meal, I guess. But if you're fine with that, then I'm sure you can replace it with beer. If you're willing to have a non-French meal though, I actually find that term quite spooky. because it implies you're gonna have bread, which is quite a dreadful prospect. I mean, the only place where people have bread all the time is Germany. There is such a thing as too much bread. You know, I don't want to be offensive, but Black Forest Gâteau is like the only cake I don't like, or the only gâteau I don't like. I mean, I don't like the chocolate of it, I don't like the cherries, and I don't like the alcohol in it. It's like the worst gâteau you could possibly make. I know I'm not very good at it, I'm sorry. I try very hard though. I mean, I too eat bread, but you cannot have bread like 100 times a day. You can put other things in your mouth. It doesn't always have to be bread. I'm just looking to rekindle my lost youth. No, I'm just grinding up some XP to get everyone to level 100, including all my GFs. I mean, what exactly is a cream slice? Do you mean just a slice of cream? I mean, I'm fine with cream. Like, I don't like I mean, cream is fine, I guess. Even though it can taste quite boring. I mean, I guess my favorite gâteau is some kind of cheesecake, even though I'm not sure if you can even call it a gâteau if it has cake in its name. Because I got Odin after I fought Cypher. You know, do you want to hear a spooky story, Mederick? It involves actually French pastries. I was, I mean, I have to first know if you want to hear that because it's really spooky. And I don't know if you're prepared for that. I mean, it's a short story, let's just put it like that. So, not too long ago, I was in a spooky German city by the name of Berlin, and they have a shop there where they sell French pastries. And I thought that might be a fun thing to do, so I went there and bought some French stuff. They actually had this doesn't do any damage. Interestingly enough, I went there on what they called the macaron day, where they sold their old macarons for like half price or something. I mean, who knows? I think the actual shop where they sell it is part of a French department store chain. I mean, I didn't buy the macarons. This is where the plot twist in my story comes up. I mean, I went there on macaron day, but I didn't actually buy macarons, so that's like the first plot twist. But actually, I bought eclairs there, and I bought only one eclair there, a caramel eclair. And when I got back to the hotel and I unpacked the eclair I got, I realized it tasted like garbage. I mean, not literally like garbage, but it didn't taste good. So I don't know if I should even give Eclairs another chance after this dreadful experience. Like, the cream filling inside, it tasted basically like it had been left out for too long. It wasn't fluffy, it was just stale, and I mean, I don't know who made it. It's not like I was there when it was being made. I have no idea who made it. I mean, I have eaten good eclairs, but not this one. I mean, it looked quite nice. It just didn't taste good. That's a good point actually. I should remember to use micro missiles next time. No, because the chatbot is not currently active. You have to play the tuner game in your mind. There are no games to be had. It's a game-free place right now. I'm sorry for that. So what other gâteaux did you have, by the way? You said you had many gâteaux. I mean, were you just eating a lot of, like, frozen gâteau? Because that sounds boring. I summoned Eden not too long ago. It dealt 60,000 damage. But I've seen Eden like enough for the next few hours. I might summon Eden again in a few hours. I think like one Eden summon every 2 hours is more than enough. I mean, how exactly does boost make it more exciting? I can't really agree with that. To me, the excitement level is not affected by whether or not you have boost. In this game there's not. You're probably thinking of FF10, FF9, sorry. In FF9 there are short versions, in FF8 there are not. I mean, you don't have to do something physically. You can watch the animation, marvel at its glorious beauty, and ponder the universe, and those kind of crap things to do. I mean, I have only been in France once, and, you know, when I was there, I actually specifically went to a few cake shops, and to my great disappointment, the cake I had in those cake shops wasn't even that great tasting. So I mean, that was a major letdown. To be fair though, it looked very nice, just didn't really taste that great. I mean, what food is there besides cake anyway? There is no other foods that deserves to be taken seriously. I mean, everything else is just something you have for sustenance. Cake is what you have for enjoyment. I mean, I don't think you have very much of tuna in France, so that point is completely besides the point. I mean, I don't even know what French food would be, I'm just not that familiar with it. I mean, earlier somebody told me about what they said was a French meal, which according to that one person was wine, bread and cheese. I mean, I guess that's true, yeah, they have good tuna in Japan. Have you been to Japan yourself, Medric? I mean, they have not just tuna there, they have other food as well. I would recommend. They even sold pretzels there. And a lot of edible flowers. Seems like I'm going. It seems like I'm getting somewhere at some point. It went to the Shadow Realm probably, where it will have to play children's card games until the end of time. It's quite probably literally hell. Did I taste andouillette or quenelle? I don't know what these words mean, so I assume I did not know. What even are these things? Are you just making up words now?